Good evening, everyone, and welcome. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone. With me tonight, we have...
Cole playing Olorun Dawnseeker, the ASMR Paladin Warlock.
Hi, I'm Eric, and I'm playing Sirach, the Arakakra Horizon Walker Ranger.
Howdy, y'all. Name's Maz. I'll be playing Talroth Oakenblade, the Wood Elf Scout.
Hello, my name is Carlos. I'll be playing Thozen Fahrenheit, the half-orc tiefling forge cleric. How to think about it.
And I'm Kez, and I'm going to be playing Treasure Glitterhoof, the tiefling fighter.
All right, everyone. So, welcome, new viewers, old viewers, everybody, friends from across the way. This is Disasters in Danger. It is our DnD 5e high fantasy homebrew campaign set in our very own world. So tonight we have a very special announcement, fun times to be had. We are doing a giveaway from our friends over at Norse Foundry. Yes, the Foundries of the Norses. Ooh, hypnotize you. So we are giving away one of their gemstone dice sets today. It is the Dalmatian Jasper set. It's in its plastic packaging. It doesn't really come through on my webcam here, but if you head over to their website and check it out, we're going to do that giveaway tonight. It is part of our monthly giveaways from Norse Foundry. These are really wonderful gemstone dice. They're very cool. They're cool to the touch. So there they are. You see that they exist despite the lighting and the plastic and all that nonsense. But we are really excited to have them with us. They've been our sponsors for all of Campaign 2 here on Disasters in Danger. So yeah, definitely check out the link in the chat below. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody that you want to get help winning a set of dice. And if you aren't watching the show and you're like, oh man, I'm not going to get the chance to win it now, you watch it later and you're like, wish I had. If you are a member of our Patreon, you get entered in all of our contests. We do weekly giveaways for something every week. We tend to have dice and cards and little paraphernalia and sometimes games and I don't know, all sorts of weird fun stuff. So definitely check those things out. Speaking of the Patreon, we are not deep, but we've got a good run going of our Patreon exclusive podcast stream show for them called A to Z Monstrosities. It's me sitting down, going through the monster manual from start to finish and building mythic encounters out of every monster, making some truly solo monsters for each of them, and we put them up on an exclusive D&D Beyond campaign, so you can just download the monsters from there. We also have the stat blocks that we give you and stuff like that. We're also going to do a special event when we get to 30 patrons. Our wonderful Kez down there in the corner, who is a great artist in her own right, and does all of our character art for this campaign. And she's working on some other fun stuff I'll let her tell you about. But when we get there, she's going to do another art giveaway, full body character, colored, no background, for one of our patrons. So we were a couple away. It fluctuates a little bit, but if that interests you, jump in there, see if you can join with us. So we got a lot of fun things happening over there. Cole, how are we looking for tomorrow? What are you thinking? You thinking we're doing or what?
You know, I always like to err on the side of positivity.
Let's do it.
So, as of right now, Storm King's Thunder is a go for tomorrow. We usually tend to go live around 7:30. 7:30 to 8 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So, it's ridiculous. We have a lot of fun. They go on giant stone horse dick heists. So just so you know exactly what kind of a game you're getting yourself into. It's a lot of fun.
It is a wild ride from start to finish. Eric, Mars, do you guys have any announcements? I caught Eric. He was enjoying his post-fast feast. But you guys have any announcements for the stream before we get into tonight's adventure?
I don't believe so. Mars, you got anything?
The only thing is, well, with Lance Orlando, we did hear back from the Renaissance fairs that were supposed to be happening.
Mm-hmm.
They have decided to go the route of safety and not have the fairs this year. But that does give us another full year to really crank out some solid shows for next year.
Cool. I'm looking forward to seeing those. Carlos, why don't you tell us about Junk Drawer Show and all the fun things you got going on?
Don't mind if I do. So Junk Drawer Show airs. I can't talk today. Airs on Tuesdays. And obviously, if you guys are checking out Random Encounters on those nights, we also drop our latest episodes on Thursdays on YouTube. And come and check us out. I've been trying to put some art on merchandise and stuff. For example, like the lovely shirt I'm wearing. This is our main characters of the campaign as the gorillas. Album cover. But yeah, we have those links over on our website as well, or not the website, sorry, on our YouTube and on our Twitch. But you can check us out at the Junk Drawer Show on Twitch and YouTube, and we also have an Instagram as well. And usually on Instagram, we'll just post when we're going live and whatnot. So yeah, so I'll be there tomorrow. If if you guys are checking out Random Encounters, just check us out on Thursdays on YouTube.
Cool. And Kez, do you have commissions open? How are things in Art World?
Commissions are in fact open, and they will fill pretty quickly. This is kind of one of my hopping times of year as folks start to get ready for the holidays. I only have X amount of slots, but if you're interested, you can look me up on Critical Kez, either on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. Send me a message, and I'll be happy to answer any kind of questions. You can check the Random Encounters Instagram or Twitter to kind of see what my art is like. As Cody said before, I have done all of the art pretty much up to this point. Those and Carlos did some of our art as well. I don't know if he's open for commissions, but I have done
Not yet.
but I have done a good chunk of the stuff. We do have some goodies hopefully coming up, which we can ask Caitlin about. I'm sure she's hovering around in the Twitch chat.
Yeah.
Coming up for Halloween. And that's what my latest project has been. So if you're spooky and you think Halloween's canceled, here at Random Encounter Productions, Halloween is never canceled.
Right. Starts in August, apparently. So, yeah, we got some fun things for those. Some maybe little trick-or-treat bags. So we'll see what happens with that. But without any further ado, and no more gilding the lily, let us jump in to tonight's adventure. Midway through the show, we'll probably do the giveaway. Some point between now and then, we'll figure out what the hashtag is. So that's what we got. That's what's happening. All right. So our adventure takes place in the lands of Lickdrocht. They are lands of myth, of legend, lands with limited input or influence from the gods. Our heroes are members of the Magnus Exploratorium, a college of anthropology and archaeology dedicated to unraveling the mysteries of this bold new continent, from making contact with its ancient denizens, as well as seeking out the ruins of its long overgrown world. They are from the Republic of the Black Gem. Recently, our heroes have taken on an expedition, a continent-spanning trek, a journey from the east deep into the west to find a famed, legendary place where weapons and arms of destiny and fate were once forged, and that is in fact its name. It is the Forge. They have not gotten there, however. They are about a third of the way there. And they have recently stopped in a vast farming community known as 4 Point Farms. Days and days worth of travel in this central area where the food production, the soil is always super rich, and things that grow here are more than just the breadbasket of the burgeoning nation or colonies. Really just provides a tremendous amount of food to the entire eastern seaboard. Stopping there, they had seen that each of the farming communities were beset by a variety of underground monsters, from bullets to Kruthix to constructs, some iron defenders and bronze scouts, dragging people underground, protecting ancient mystical farming implements. They had thought that these were the machinations of a traveling snake oil salesman, one Dr. T. Burns. They had found his cart destroyed, evidence that he had been dragged underground. So they ventured down in after him and found a vast labyrinth of catacombs, of what is the word? A laboratory, basically. All made. So it's not like it's caves. Like, it was like mechanist made tubes and catwalks and walking armors and all sorts of fun things like that. So like a long-standing ancient laboratory underground. They searched about a bit. They got lost. They got found, and they eventually found a infusion chamber where Burns had been captured. They attempted to set him free. They had some monstrosities released upon them and coughed. They coughed a lot. That happened too.
It happens.
And they were eventually able to escape with Burns. So you guys have made it to the surface. We're going to give you a long rest from your recent encounter. So Olaroon and Kez, that affects your characters. For the other three of you, you see your friends have returned. They were down there for a while. They were down there probably about at least 4 hours. 4 to 6 hours, something like that. So as you guys have rested throughout the night, do you want to stay just outside of the portcullis, the porthole, down beneath the surface of the earth that you knew that you entered in and out through, or do you guys want to move?
There were some pretty terrifying things that are underneath here, so I don't know if they're gonna follow us out. Supposedly no one saw us come out, but I think it might be a good idea if we kind of set up shop around here, if that makes sense.
Well, y'all are the ones who look like the badgers who stole the dwarf's keg, so I'll take your word for it.
Agreed.
That was a weird statement.
Have you met Valra?
You know, you would think I would get used to it by this point in time, but I have not quite reached that point. I'm very tired.
I've heard that a lot.
You guys were gone for quite a while.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's a reason why Stitch is laid out, and he's probably not getting up anytime soon. He's got a lot to work off. Evidently one of the ladies in there was... the fact that he took him on is just absolutely outstanding, but she was nothing to mess with.
I look over at Stitch. Does he look any hurt? Like, is there anything I can do for him?
Make a medicine check for me.
That will be an 11.
So, yeah, you can see the injury that Stitch endured it's a limp. He's already received magical healing from Saride, so now his body needs time to rest and recover. So between the care that she's already given him, there's nothing else that you can necessarily do for him.
It's just the way that he just healed at the time.
Yeah, so for anybody that isn't aware, when you take the totality of your hit points, your max hit points in one hit, we have you roll on the injury chart. And it can be anything from like losing an eye to a limb to lighter things. And those are conditions that can't be fixed with magical healing unless it's like regeneration or the heal spell, like 6th, 7th level things. Those things require time because it's not just like pain or a flesh wound. Like that would be in football terms, that would be something that took you out of the game for the rest of the game or a week. That's what we're talking about. So
Got it.
So you guys set up your camp there around. Is there anything else you guys would like to do before the morning comes?
Can I take the chance to talk to Treasure for a little bit?
She is brushing so much crap out of her hair and buffing her armor.
Yeah, he'll probably actually, like, after noticing that like she's got her armor there, he'll probably like kind of drag his with him and kind of like pop a squat in front of her and just be like, so that was fun.
That was something.
Do you have any idea what that big eye thing might have been?
I thought we weren't talking about that big eye thing anywhere near Fable, and she looks around to make sure Fable's not there.
Yeah, and I'll do the same. Like, I'll look around really quick. Like,
Fable does not seem to be in the immediate area. No, you don't think she's within earshot.
okay, so I'm like, yeah, no, that was scary. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. But do you think there might be things of use down there that we might have just passed up? Because I mean, we had to go help Burns. That was kind of time sensitive. But do you think there is some stuff down there that might be useful that we might be able to head back down there for?
In truth, yes. Should we head back down there and get a bunch of stuff? Probably not. You saw what that did to Stitch, and, on top of that, we're also on a little bit of a timetable. We got those guys headed to the forge. We got your sword to find. We got Talrot's sword to find. We got a checklist of things to do that we can't keep adding on to, or we're going to miss the forge on the end. The fact that we stopped to get his purple self up here.
He is awfully purple, isn't he? Very, very purple.
There are
like bluish
guys that would be jealous.
Yeah, that's fair. So, all right. Just wanted to, and then he'll like kind of like grab what's left over his armor and start kind of like heading back to his tent and be like, just wanted to run that by you real quick.
She'll pull him back down to sit with her. Just come on.
Ah!
Might as well work on this together. 2 pairs of hands, better than one. Now we're gonna get spot check
okay.
each other.
Okay. Yeah. And I think that's where we're gonna end that.
Okay. Anything else? Are you guys setting up any watches or anything like that?
We probably should, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take first watch.
I'll take one as well, so it's either second or last, whichever.
Yep, I'll take whichever watch anybody wants.
Okay.
I'll probably take first.
Okay. So, whoever is taking first watch, roll me a perception check and use your passive perception as a floor for this check.
That's a 14.
And I rolled a 21.
Okay. 14 and 21. All right. And second check, second rest.
And you said a 4, so add my passive to it?
If you rolled below your passive, just give me your passive.
Got it. So that will be a 18.
An 18. Okay.
Sorry, 17.
Okay. One second. Okay. Thosen, as you are keeping your watch throughout the night, you begin to feel the ground start to shift, start to sort of tremor, and it definitely catches your attention, and it feels persistent enough and like it's intensifying.
Got it. So I find it pretty alarming, you may say?
I would think so. Yeah. I mean, you're not super familiar with if this place has earthquakes or not, but it doesn't seem good.
I'm gonna use thaumaturgy. Sorry to wake you all up this way. To boom my voice and say, "Incoming."
Not 5 more minutes.
Not 5 more minutes. Wake the hell up.
Grabs bow and arrow.
Fuck!
I don't know where it's coming from, but it seems whatever it is either big or it's underground, one of the two. But these tremors are not reassuring.
Wait, you said coming from the underground? Oh, son of a bitch.
The ground is rumbling, so it could either be like those things that squished me a few while back, or it could be something that's very large.
I'm running up a tree. It's like whatever tree is closest, I'm going up a tree.
Make a perception check.
Total 10. I rolled low.
You look around. This is a cornfield essentially, and because I learned this today, much like the indigenous Americans, these fields grow multi-plants at once. So corn, beans, and squash. So the beans go up the corn stalk, and the squash cover the base. So yeah, I thought that was actually really cool. There are no trees around, is what I'm essentially telling you, not within your eye shot that you can see.
But there is sky. I'm going to fly up 5 feet.
I was probably sleeping, so I am attempting to get dressed and put some armor on.
Okay. Do me a favor, look up how long it takes to put on your heavy armor.
Like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the
it
very
does.
least, I won't be going out tits a blazing like I did last time.
Well, there you go. As you guys are sitting there, you begin to look around. You can feel the shaking continuing. Remind me, and Olaroon or Kez, this, or Treasure, that I think this may be you that I need to remind me. The Raven, your emo girl, and Screebers, did they come with you?
They did.
They did. Okay. Well, I'd like all of you to make a perception check.
That's a 21 again.
Nice.
19.
Okay.
Natural 1. Treasure's still trying to get dressed.
15.
Mm. Mm-hmm. So anybody that rolled above a 20, I think, is that only Eric?
Yeah, that should be me.
Okay. You notice that Screebers is gone. Screebers
No surprise.
has disappeared. The ground near you begins to cave in an interesting fashion, and you can hear the bashing and crushing of rocks and these sonic screams that seem to be piercing into the night sky. And as the ground begins to descend, it's about the edge of which has started about 30 feet from you and is creeping ever closer. You're watching the plants from the top points of the view fall down into the underground area as this sort of massive sinkhole begins to open up. And as it is doing so, that loud screech begins to pierce up into the night's air. And you then see this hand sort of come out and hit the edge of the dirt that is near you. It is about giant-sized as it is crawling up and out. And it is, for those of you that were down below, it is very similar, another monstrosity, a genetically engineered creature, similar to the one that you guys had fought below. And flanking him are these, the robotic digging machines that you guys had seen down there. And you realize that they actually use sonic psychic power to shatter dirt and stone. I would like everybody to flip for initiative, please.
Just for clarification, is it just a giant hand?
Oh no, I mean you're gonna. I mean the rest of the body's coming with it, but the hand
Understood.
is the first thing you see. Can one of you cover initiative for me today? I would appreciate
10-4.
that. Bad guys are on a queen. I know Talroth is starting off with an ace. But after that, if people could put it in the Discord, and then just you get, when I say whoever's next, you guys can let me know. Awesome. We got 3 people on a queen. Mars is up first with the ace. So Mars, if you could go for it.
Is it too late to have started just fucking right off as soon as I saw a hand come out and just run?
Towards it or away from it?
Away.
Away. Okay. No, I mean, you're first to act, so I don't think you're gonna get much faster than that. So, I'll give you 15 feet. How's that?
Okay. Because I mean, seeing that come out, I'll just pull my double bladed out action to take the dodge action, and just call out, "What in the hell did you guys bring back with you?"
A fair question.
And I'm specifically yelling this at Treasure because I know her.
Okay.
Listen, we killed what was down there. This is new.
Mm-hmm. This one does seem to be bigger than the one that you had killed down there previously. So there is that. Anything else, Talroth?
Before we go, I would have put my Blessing of the Forge on Talroth's armor to give him a +1 to his AC. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, that's no problem. Okay.
Yeah, no, nothing else for me. I mean, this is probably one of the only times I would not want to go first because I have no idea what kind of stray dog these guys picked up on the way out of there.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Okay, who's next? No kings, queen? Bad guys are on a +1.
I think Sirach.
So yeah, Sirach.
Sorry, yeah. I'm at a +4, so I will look around, bow and arrow up in the sky, and I'm going to be like, are we hitting them? Are we hitting them?
Yeah!
And I will cast Hunter's Mark on the big guy. And I will attack with my bow and arrow 2 times.
Go for it.
All right, I got a, what is that? Oh, I have a +10 now. That's so beautiful. That's a 16 and a 23.
A 16 and a 23.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of those are going to hit.
Nice. So that's 2d8 and 2d6. Good rolls. Okay, so 14, 16, 22 plus 10 for 32 damage.
32 points of damage. Nicely done. So. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Anything else, Sirach? Are you going to stay where you're at? Are you going to fly away? Are you going to try to fly higher?
How about how far away are they from us, from where they're jumping out of the ground?
So the ground has been breaking down, and it's about 5 feet from your camp. It seems to have stopped right about there. So when the rest of the body emerges of this monstrosity, of this great kaiju, it is going to be in melee with the people within 10 feet of the people down on the ground.
All right, I'm going to diagonal back another 10 feet.
Okay, so you want to try to be about 20 feet away from it? Okay, sounds good. Who else was on a queen? Okay,
I think
Thozen.
I have a +2.
You got it. Go for it, buddy.
Okay, seeing Treasure without her armor, I am going to use my bonus action to cast Shield of Faith to add a +2 to her AC. And then I'm going to take my mace and slam it against my shield and cast Toll the Dead on the big one. I'm assuming he's not a construct.
No, not a construct. Well,
So Wisdom save of 13.
Wisdom save of 13. Rolls a natural 3, but as it does, you see these blue runes that are etched along its skin. Give it another chance. It has advantage on saving throws against magic, but it fails with a 5. Yeah, that's going to be... That doesn't come close to 13.
Okay, and this is the one that was just hurt by Sirach, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
10, 4. So that'll be, 19 necrotic damage.
19 necrotic damage. Nicely done. Okay.
And then I'm going to move where I can be within 30 feet, blocking, I guess, between him and Talroth? Who else is on the ground? Just me and Treasure?
And Olaroon.
Okay. Then I'll get between him and Treasure. Between him and Treasure, because I know that Olaroon probably has his armor on.
I mean, you can look at them. They don't have, neither Olaroon or Treasure are wearing their armor.
Oh shit, then never mind. I'll get between him and Olaroon because I gave a +2 to Treasure.
Okay. So, on the bad guy's turn, the psychic screamers, the psychic diggers that were down there come wheeling their way up into there it is, up onto the ground. You're going to see that they are being dealt with by Raven, in addition to your other party members that are not present. So that is how we do a camp fight without having 10 people on the call. You can hear sort of the loud piercing screams. The magic begins to fly back and forth. Olaroon and Treasure, do me a favor. Both of you roll me a percentile.
$24.
87.
87. Okay. Treasure, turns out you are ever so slightly closer to Burns as he is taking his turn. You see him begin to work some sigils in the air, and he bites his hand so that it bleeds just a little bit, but it is a almost crystalline blue, sort of blood color, and it flings across the sky, and as it touches you, you feel your body harden as though it were stone. You are under the effects of the stone skin spell.
Nice. What does that give me?
Resistance to non-magical piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing. Pretty sure. So that is Burns' moment. Ooh, that's an awful picture. And then comes Crassus.
I don't like that name.
Yeah, well, so it comes up. It is about the size of a giant, larger giant too. We're talking like cloud giant size, so 26-ish feet, and it sort of is pulling its way up. Its fingers, it has 6 fingers. They are webbed and clawed, and you can see in the web is almost articulate, like it sort of wraps forward and around, and then twist back and out, almost as though it could create some sort of like vine or whip to wrap something up in. It has sort of like the flying squirrel sort of skin between its arms and its legs, even though it's so huge. And it's got this big tail that sort of comes up and is going to flop down first, making an attack against. It'll be tail attack against Thozen. It'll be bite attack against Treasure, and then claw attack against Sirach, because it does sort of move forward, and it's got a long reach. It's got at least a 10-foot reach.
That I bet.
Oh, 15 feet with the tail, 10 feet with everything else. So it'll be
With-
one attack against those. Those were the three people that seem to be towards the front. Correct me if I am wrong. And so we'll do those. It is plus 11 to all of its attacks. Thosen, that is a 19. 19 misses.
Okay.
Nice.
Correct.
Nice. That is a 27 for treasure and a 29 for Sirach. So those are going to hit.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is anyone within 5 feet of me? Any of my allies that it tried to attack?
No, not the allies that tried to attack. They're not within 5 feet of you.
Cool.
Yep. So, treasure, that it's 22 points of hit points of damage, and for Sirach that is 27 points of damage on the bite and on the claw. And as you guys are looking at it, you're seeing its skin isn't fully colored. Like, it's almost sort of this pale, milky, whitish green. And where it's been hit seems to be like almost breaking off and dripping, like falling onto the ground. So that is what's happening with that. Up next, who's next? Olaroon on a 7.
Is it me? Is it me?
It is.
Next is
on
Olaroon.
7? Okay, thanks. So I'm going to look up and be like, oh, balls, another one. Then I look at, then I see Thosen like trying to like stand in front of me, and I run past him and I say, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be much good back there. I will bonus action cast Hexblade's Curse on the big guy.
Okay.
And then I will essentially run up and I will attack him with my longsword.
Okay.
The first one is a 21 to hit.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So it does. Ooh, max damage. So
Nice.
plus, trying to look up. So it does 19 points of damage on the first attack.
Okay.
And I follow it up with a second attack.
Okay.
And that is a 22 to hit.
That hits as well.
And I am going to throw on a 3rd level Divine Smite onto that.
Okay.
Yeah, actually make that a 1st level Divine Smite onto
Okay.
that. So it is another 2d8 worth of damage on that now.
Mm-hmm.
That's only another 3 points of radiant damage.
Okay. 3 points of damage. Got it.
Yeah. So that and that'll do it for my turn.
Wait, what was the second hit damage before the radiant?
Oh, I didn't even roll that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was like, I think I'm
What are
missing a
you-
number here.
Yeah. So another 13 points of damage.
Another 13. Okay.
13 plus the 3.
3. I already got
Sorry. Okay. And on top of that, sorry, there's another 3 points of damage from Hexblade's Curse. I'm sorry, I know I've got a lot of damage sources coming out of the wazoo on this guy, so it's hard. I got to do a better job of keeping track of it.
that. You're good. Okay, and I think last but not least is Treasure.
It is. I just wanted to be sure. The 22 damage, is that with the resistance already calculated in?
No, not calculated, so reduce it to 11. Thank you for checking.
Cool. So obviously this thing is hitting like a truck, so it is time to return the favor in kind.
Yep.
She's going to grab her great sword, and now that she was always glittering gold in the first place, but now it is like a solid gold tiefling,
Mhm.
like almost metallic. Run at this thing and pop her branding smite, so we'll get that almost radiant edge off of her eyes, her sword, as she goes in for those 2 attacks.
Okay, let's do them.
Oh, it's a 24.
24 to hit. Yeah, absolutely.
The other one's a 17.
Both hit. Yep. 16 is the AC on this guy.
Cool. So he does not get a save from Branding Smite. That just...
Cool.
So that's going to be 66.
Okay,
I'm going to do the non-radiant damage first.
please. You can do it all together. The radiant or non-radiant doesn't
Matter? Okay.
matter. Yeah.
We do not roll 2s in this house, treasure. Or 1s. There we go. So that is 10, 20, 30 damage on the nose. Plus her strength. So that's going to be 38 damage total.
38 damage total. Nice. All right. And that was your first attack, right? You have another one?
That was my 2 attacks.
Plus the... Got it. 38 total. Nicely done. Treasure. Anybody... I think that's everybody. Let's flip the next card.
Hey, would you look at that?
Nice. Up top. Bad guy is on a 6. So, Thozen, I believe you are first with the ace.
I am with an ace
Sirach.
also.
Oh, I apologize. I missed that. So go for it, Sirach.
Indeed. All right. That smarted a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That did not feel good. I'm going to fly back and get just on the cusp of 30 feet from him.
Okay.
And I am going to attack twice with my arrows, and I'm going to add the planar warrior to it as well.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, that's a 18 and a 21.
Both hit.
Beautiful. So let's get another D8 in this party. Let's roll some dice. Oh, good. At least 1 8. There we go. Okay, so that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 15, 20, 24, plus 10 for 34 damage.
34 points of damage. Nicely done. As the arrows sink into its body, you guys can begin to see these sort of sparks of bioluminescence along its skin, like wherever there's an impact, just this spiral of lights starts to flare up along its body and begin to sort of spray off of it. Anything else, Sirach?
No, that's attack, movement, and
Bonus?
my bonus. I'm good.
Okay, Thozen.
Okay, I'm going to first use... I'm going to slam my shield again to do Toll the Dead one more time, so a wisdom save.
Okay, wisdom save.
He has advantage.
He does, but he has terrible wisdom. Natural 18 plus 1, 19.
Yeah, he makes it. That's fine. I totally spaced out and forgot. Then I'm going to go ahead and bonus action cast Spiritual Weapon on the other side of the creature, so like behind him.
Okay.
Just for flair.
Mhm.
And that will be... Where is it? Spiritual Weapon. That's 5. Oh, 7 to hit. That's a no.
The 7's gonna miss, yeah.
And am I still within melee of this thing?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna, for flair, just put my shield between him and it. Not that it's gonna do me any good, but
Okay.
that's it.
All right, shield up. Got it. After Thozen, it is
It's me.
Olarum.
Olarum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am going to bonus action cast Hex on the big guy.
Mm-hmm.
So now he has disadvantage on strength checks.
Okay.
And I am going to flail and swing twice again.
All right, let's do it.
That's a 15 to hit on the first attack, so I think that misses.
That one does miss, yeah.
Okay. Second attack is a 22 to hit.
22 absolutely hits. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. Then I am going to also pop a third level Divine Smite because I don't have any armor, so we need to handle this as quickly as humanly possible. So that is going to be, so it starts off at 2, second level 3, third level is 4d8. Okay, so first regular damage, so 11 points of slashing damage just from the longsword.
Mm-hmm.
Plus another 3 for Hexblade's Curse.
Okay.
So that is that. One more d6 because of Hex. Another 3 points due to Hex. And the last one is the 4d8. Let's go. That's a lot of sixes. Another 21 points of radiant damage thrown onto the end of that.
Okay.
And I believe that's everything.
Okay. Sounds good. Talroth.
All right, seeing as how we are not fucking off and running and we're going to fuck it up instead, I'll just reverse course and start bolting back towards whatever this thing is.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be just my movement or would I have to dash to get close enough?
Actually, yeah, you do need to dash because you had run. You had taken some movement away. The bonus action dash.
Yep, not a problem. And I'm just going to come spinning the blade around and I'm just going to take one big swipe at it.
Okay.
That's going to miss.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was a 12 total.
Yeah. Is what it is. Okay. Treasure.
Okay, so obviously this thing is doing a lot of damage. I'm on the same page as Olaroon. We are unarmored. We can't drag this fight out, so I'm going to pop my branding smite
Okay.
at this time. So let's go for those 2 attacks. Nice. Okay. So 16 plus 7, I know that's going to hit, and so is the 17 plus 7, so
Yeah.
those are my 2 attacks.
Absolutely. You got him.
He needs to make a con save.
Con save. That is going to be 14 plus 5, 19.
So he did pass it.
Yep.
He's going to take the fire damage this round, but not this, I think, the concurrent rounds. Let me double check that.
Okay.
Searing Smite. Sorry. Okay. Oh, he only takes, he takes the initial damage, but not the concurrent damage on the failed save. Okay. Cool. She is hitting like a truck tonight. 18, 19, 20, 21, 31 damage.
Okay. 31 total?
31 total. That's with the fire damage, but he will not continue to take fire damage.
Okay. Good to know. Hopefully Carlos comes back. Yeah, so the 31 burns across his skin. You can see his body is everywhere that the arrows and these things begin to impact him. his skin starts to light up. On his turn, all of those areas that have been flailing sort of all start to pop and erupt with light and color, and it becomes this dazzling display across all of you. And I would like everyone to make me a hold on, make sure I got the right one. Wisdom saving throw, please.
Fuck.
14.
Okay.
13.
DC 18.
11.
23.
Okay. So
6.
as the lights burst across all of your bodies, if you failed, you become stunned. For Rock, you failed.
Yep.
So you plummet to the ground.
Indeed, I do.
And I believe you were, like 30 feet above ground?
I was about 15 because I went diagonal.
Okay. All right. So we're going to round it up to 20. We're going to call it 2d6. No saving throw or acrobatics check. So
Nothing.
11 points of damage as your wings fold in around you and you come plummeting in towards the ground. You hear the thud. Lighter than one would expect because hollow bird bones. But
Yeah, hollow bird bones as they all crack in half.
But it is still a sickening thud. The rest of you that are stunned are right there. The massive Crassus Kaiju is going to bite Thozen, and then it's going to tail Treasure and claw Olaron, because Olaron hit it harder. Balroth, you didn't really hit him. You didn't hit him. That didn't mean to be. That's not meant to be rude. I'm sorry.
Nope, it just happened.
Yep. Okay. Thozen. That is a 26 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 30 on Treasure, we know that's going to hit, and 16 on Olaroon without your armor, that's going to hit as well.
I just have the question. At this point in time, we've all scuttled around a little bit. There's still no one within 5 feet of me that he attacked, right?
Well, you guys move forward, but you're stunned, so you can't take a reaction.
Good point.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So... who got the tail? Treasure. You take 33 points of damage, halved to 17, and you are knocked prone. Who took the claw? I think that was Olaroon.
Yeah.
Olaroon, you take 22 points of damage, and you are grappled. And Thozen, you take... yeah, the bitey. 27 points of bite damage. As the creature continues to bite and claw and is grabbing onto you guys, even in your stunned state, you see its body continues to break down. Like, as it pulls its teeth out of those and off of his armor, those large, chomping, sort of gator-like teeth, some of them are stuck in your shield, in your armor. They just sort of, like, pop out of his mouth, as though they were ready to fall off. Those, and if you could move, you would notice that these web protrusions are breaking down very, very quickly. Burns, on his turn, is going to Who speaks Celestial? I think Olaroon does.
Yeah, your resident angel baby.
Okay. You hear this odd conversation, and Treasure, you hear part of it too, between somebody speaking Celestial, which is sort of like
Infernal backwards.
I always
Anti-infernal.
I always imagine it as like oddly choir-like, or like you have to properly speak Celestial. You have to have at least 7 people doing like a full octave at a time, you know, or it's like got like a harp and bell. Like you have to have accoutrement to really get the inflections right. And it's, you hear him, Burns is essentially looking around. He's like, damn it, I need a bottle. And Treasure, you hear in Draconic, I got one! Yeah! So Burns is going to, in the middle of the area, sort of catch the Yeaton, the Hathman Jotun bottle from Screebers, and that little bit of crystalline blue blood that he was still sort of bleeding from his bite drips into the vial, and he begins to cast a spell. And pouring out from the bottle is this thick mist. This thick cloud, this fog cloud that encompasses all of you. Those of you that are in the fog cloud are completely obstructed from view. The only person that's not in the fog cloud is Olaroon. But those of you that are also in the fog cloud, at the beginning of your turn, you recover 1d8 worth of hit points, and you have advantage on saving throws while within it. So, new round.
By the way, concentration stayed up for Shield of Faith. I rolled a natural 17.
Nice. Nicely done. My guys are on a 7. So, everybody else, me, and then Thozen. Well, this should go quickly. You guys are stunned. At the end of your turn, you can make another wisdom saving throw. And recover a d8 worth of hit points. So go ahead and start doing that.
And we have advantage on the saving throw now, correct?
You do, yeah. Everybody except for Olaroon, because Olaroon is still grappled in the air.
Yeah, no, I am still stunned. I rolled an 8 total.
Oof. Rough days.
Soft 20 on the wisdom save.
Olaroon, you are no longer stunned.
14 again, still stunned.
Still stunned. Treasure.
18.
You barely. You made it. Treasure's back among the active. Prone, but active. The Crassus is going to try to crush Burns with Olaroon in his hand. So he is going to make one attack with disadvantage because you guys are completely obscured. Nope. That is a 2 plus 11 is still a 13. That's not going to hit Burns. He has a pretty high dex. And then he's going to... Crassus is going to spend his time flailing about. He can't really see you guys. So you see his tail sort of flop and splash into the area, and it misses you guys. And then he sort of just ducks his teeth down in there, and and again misses you guys. So, yeah, those are his turn.
For the sake of continuity and me shooting myself in the foot, would I take any damage because he tried to hit someone else with me?
Because he did try to,
I...
with the bash. I'm gonna say you'll take like a fall amount of damage because he's not clawing you. Like the claws aren't getting into you.
Yeah.
But thank you. Yeah, that is a good point. Because 13 beat your armor class? I know it's pretty low.
It just hits it.
Just hits it. Okay, you're gonna take.
Yeah.
You are going to take 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Got a. I did get a nat 20 on my concentration spell, so Hex is still up.
Hex is absolutely still up. So.
Speaking of that, Hunter's Mark is down.
Thank you. Okay, that is it for Crassus. Burns is maintaining the mist spell that he has, the healing fog cloud, yielding cloud of fog. I haven't named it right. Burns' magical boof boof. We're workshopping it. And Thozen.
Okay, I am going to, seeing that this thing hits hard, I'm going to say fuck it to Shield of Faith. I'm going to raise my mace up in the air, close my eyes, and chant in Orcish, and cast Beacon of Hope, as everyone around me that is an ally will get hope and vitality. You have advantage on wisdom saving throws and death saving throws, and you regain maximum number of hit points from any healing.
Nice. Any bonus actions?
Yes, whoever looks the worst, I think it might be Oleron because he keeps getting fucked the hell up. I'm going to cast Healing Word. So
here's the issue. You are in the thick cloud of fog. You cannot see outside of it, outside of 5 feet. So
got it. Then
you would have to leave the cloud to see Olaroon to actively heal him.
Okay, retroactively then. I would go to where I thought treasure was.
Okay.
Or because I think she was near me, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. She's within 15 feet.
I would bonus action Healing Word her.
Okay. Sounds good. At the end of...
that'll be 6 because it's max healing, 6 hit points.
Nice. There you go. Olaroon, I need you to make me a... you have a choice. So the tendrils that have wrapped around you and grappled you are rapidly deteriorating. You're just feeling your skin be sort of like you're in Jell-O, and it's starting to lose its consistency, like it's melting Jell-O.
The whole thing.
Yeah. So it's the grip on you is loosening, rather involuntarily. So you either need to make a dexterity saving throw when you slip out of this guy's grasp, or a strength saving throw to like grab onto his hand and stay there.
Can I do neither?
Okay, what would you like to do instead?
Oh wait, no. Wait, this is not happening on my turn, right?
This is not on your turn. No, this is at the end of the round.
Yeah.
So this
then
is just...
Then never mind.
Yeah.
Because I was going to be like, I just pop my wings out, but I can't. Well, so the funny thing is both of them are the same, so it doesn't matter.
Oh no.
I will say that since I'm not wearing my armor, I'll try and do a dex saving throw and see if I can roll like do the whole like. I know I don't have Shield Master, but like do the whole like use your shield as a brace thing. I'm trying to Captain America this joint.
Captain America. I got it. Let's check for Captain America.
Maybe that's a 14 on the dex save.
A 14. Okay, yeah, I'll give you half damage on the 20-foot fall. So it is 9 reduced to 5. And you are within the obscured healing mist now.
Thank God.
Okay, new round. Oh. Treasure, you and me. Up top. What's your dex?
Non-existent.
Ha 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 ha. Okay.
And the DM cackles. That's always a bad sign.
It's always a bad sign. Always a bad sign. So the Crassus is going to blindly flail into the ghost cloud. I'm going to roll 3d10. There are 5 of you. If it rolls 5, there are 6. I'm going to count burns. So if I roll a 1 to a 6, it hits somebody. If I roll 7 or above, it doesn't hit anybody. So 3d10. That is a 7, a 6 for burns, and a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thousand, you're getting the tail. At disadvantage, though. So...
Thousand's within 5 feet of me, though.
He is, but you're prone.
Damn.
So first is burns at disadvantage, 13 again. That doesn't hit him. And Thousand with disadvantage. Oh, they bumped each other. I'm so sorry. 9 plus 11 for modified 20. Yeah.
That's my AC.
Oh. All right. I need a strength saving throw to not go prone, and you're going to take 33 points of damage.
Stand by. Strength saving throw will be a 19.
Nice.
And 33, you said?
Yep, 19 saves, so you're up if you're up.
Barely, but I'm up.
Okay, barely still
And
counts.
then what's half of 19 or 33? 34.
17.
17, stand by. Roll the natural 17.
Nice, Beacon of Hope maintains. Treasure.
Well, first things first, this is not the situation I want to be in my back on.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to stand up,
Okay.
and she's going to reverse the sword. So at this point, we're going in for a whole new tactic. I'm not only going to do the 2 attacks I'd normally get, she's going to pop her second wind. Not her second wind, her action surge, and just go all 4 attacks right into this thing.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm gonna yell at Treasure and be like, Treasure, shield! And put the shield above my head and hoist her up and throw her at the monster.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's get some launch into this.
Just please don't step on me. I'm still stunned.
I think I'd be the only one that would be able to hoist Treasure.
Yeah, probably. 15 just misses, correct?
15 does just miss. Yep.
Okay, so one of those attacks did hit. Let me see the other 2. And both of those hit.
Nice.
Because it was a 12 and a 10, which 17 would be the lowest one I rolled.
Yeah.
So that's going to be 2, 4, 3d6 worth of attacks since 3 of those hit. Or just a lot of those. Jesus Christ. 10, 39 damage total.
All right. Yeah.
It's gonna be even crazier when she actually gets Great Weapon Master.
Right. So, as you come swinging at it, the 3 deep cuts, and honestly, it's only because the flesh is falling off of it so quickly that 4th cut does miss. It's not a lack of accuracy; it's a lack of body to really work in there. So, who is next? Darak.
I was just checking. So I definitely died. I didn't get the. I didn't pass. I got a 16, so that doesn't make the save. Do we still get healed? The 8 points.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're breathing, you get healed.
Good. That's some good healing magic. I'm done, by the way.
Oh.
Every round?
Yeah.
Yeah, every round.
As long as you're in the fog cloud. Okay, who's next?
So who's up next?
After
that
me
is-
is Talroth.
Oh, finally. That's a 21 on the wisdom save.
You are no longer stunned. After Talroth.
Thousand.
That would be me. I got hit really hard, so I am going to. I love y'all. Cast Cure Wounds level 3 on myself to
Okay.
regain. What's 3d8? 8, 16, 24. That's 26 hit points.
Nice.
And then bonus action, I'm gonna slam my spiritual weapon that looks like a giant anvil
Okay.
against the big baddie.
Nice.
16.
Barely hits.
Okay, spiritual weapon, 1d8 plus 2. 7 force damage.
7 force damage. Okay. That's he's not doing great. Who is left? I believe
If
it's
I
just
can, I'm gonna move slightly further away from him.
okay. You start backing up. Olarun.
So I already rolled for the burns thing.
Okay.
So I gain 8 hit points.
Yep.
Because it's just 1d. It's just 1d8, right?
Just a flat D8. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I rolled a d8. I rolled an 8. So I'm going to bonus action use something that I haven't done yet before.
All right.
Which is my maddening hex. So it and creatures I choose within 5 feet of it take automatically 5 points of damage.
Okay.
So it automatically takes 5 points of damage.
Okay.
And then I will run up to it and beat it half to death.
Well, yeah, we're past half. Technically, you have to move so you can see it. So you have to be within 5 feet of it to see it anyway. But yeah, go ahead and make your attack rolls.
Yeah, sorry. I would move into attack range. That's at 18 on the first attack. I'll just roll both attacks. I'll roll both attacks and then roll full damage, or do you want me to roll each attack separately?
It's up to you. You can roll it all together.
Yeah, I'll roll all together. It's just easier that way.
Honestly,
second attack.
You just need to hit it once.
Okay, yeah. So that one's second attack's a 16. So first attack does 14 points, 17 points of damage.
That's showtime.
Yes. So yeah, as I stab it, I will be like, "This is what you get for holding me. I am not a damsel in distress." Ha! And then and I'll just kind of like, as it's falling apart, just keep slicing as much as I can.
As you are cutting into it, the milky green skin and muscle beneath just begins to sort of liquefy beneath your blade, as though it had been into a blender, sort of muddled and chunked. And as its corpse, for lack of a better word, begins to hit the ground, all of its flesh sort of returns to this near liquid state and begins sliding and being absorbed into the nutrients of the soil and the dirt, as it creates this like mudslide sort of avalanche of liquid grossness back down into the pit it had come from. The skeletal structure seems to be a little more solid and is taking longer to break down, but this thing was not made for survival, it seems. So great, you guys are out of initiative. What would you guys like to do?
While Beacon of Hope is still up, I would go around healing whoever needs healing.
Okay.
I finally make that save, by the way.
It was a minute.
With advantage?
Legit with advantage. My next roll was a 17 and a 19. So yeah, I finally made it at the nick of time.
I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna stay laying on the ground, staring up at the very nice starlit sky, and just wonder, what kind of bullshit did these assholes get into without me?
I am going to, after it melts away, I am just going to sit on the ground, my shield in one hand, my sword in the other, and just go.
I get the hint.
These are terrible. I never want to see another one of these things again. And I will turn to Burns and I'll be like, do you have any idea what these things are and what they're doing here?
As for what they are, it's difficult to say, clearly. Their progenitors are a clever mind. As to their purpose, I'm afraid that is my fault. Let's move from this pit before it decides to expand. And on the way, I'll answer your questions.
And I will say, before we do that, these fields were these people's livelihood. What's going to happen to them?
Well, I'm not sure. I would hope that what lies below remains below, and that they would be able to continue the work that they do here in their fields.
How far would you think is a safe distance away from this? Like, would we still be able to take a long rest? Or
A mile or so would give us
well, not too bad.
time to rest afterward.
Like, are there like people around, or are there like,
You guys are
witnesses?
You guys are just in the field, so it's only your team members and the people you brought with you, which, as far as I understand, is purely your team, Raven, the student artificer, and Screevers, and now Burns.
Do they need help with the digging machines, or do they clear those out?
They have dispatched them, and seemingly in the same amount of time and order. They're about dwarf size, a little bigger than a dwarf, but they're pretty stocky. They have sort of these hammers and picks and things for hands. And then the only real distinction of like race or gender or anything, they're sort of like neutral robots, but they have this kind of mouth that releases these high frequency sound waves that break down inanimate material. So, but your other friends do well to work things out.
And can I call over Screevers real quick?
Yeah, you can call Screevers.
I'll be like, Screevers, can you do me a solid, please?
I will try.
A favor.
Okay, a favor.
Okay. So, could you find out whose fields this was? Whose fields this belongs to?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can try. We should go to a town to do that.
Well, yes, and I believe that we will probably be headed towards one, but I do not know if we will be able to find whose exact fields this was in the amount of time necessary.
Okay.
So, I need you as the representative
Yeah.
and leader
Well,
of as the manager I believe, is the correct term.
Okay. Yeah.
Of the
Interpersonal
archivist of the.
interpersonal relations liaison.
Yes.
That's right.
Public relations liaison, if you will.
Sure, I will. I'll do
so-
that. Yeah.
I need you to find whose field this was, and I
Okay.
need you to give them this, and he'll hand him like a pouch of 15 gold.
Okay. Good.
As reparations for damage done to their fields.
Okay.
Right? I believe that you are best suited for this mission.
I mean, I'm not sure what gives you that idea, but I'll go with it because we're working together, and we had talked about that.
Yes, we have talked about that. I greatly enjoyed our performance review as well, Screebers. So if you could do
You take
me
joy
this
from weird
this
things.
favor.
We should find you something more entertaining to do.
Yes, well, we shall see. And then
Okay.
he hands him a pouch of 15 gold to give to whoever this belonged to. Let them know what happened, and that we are very, very sorry, and that we hoped that this helps offset any damages done to their property.
I'm gonna try to spin it better than a weird monster came from underground and then watered your plants. Like, that's just not a good sell. So I'll figure
you
something
got it
out.
in one.
Yeah.
Look, if anyone can do it, Screebers, it is you.
Well, you have supreme confidence in me, and that's very flattering. Thank you.
You have not let me down yet, Screebers. I have no reason to doubt you.
Thank you. You're a good man, Olaroden.
I only aspire to be as good as you, my friend. And then I kind of like bid him adieu.
Send Screebers on his way.
Yeah.
I like
Okay.
a Oloran after Screever leaves, and I'm like, you could have just told him, sorry about the fields, here's 15 gold. And that would have been shorter.
He goes, oh no, yes, but this is much more fun.
For who?
It's a good point. But, he needs something to do. He can't just sit here and, just sit here and act like he's doing something. Everyone, no matter how big or small, has a place in this world. They have something to offer. They have something to give. And Screebers, for all of his faults, is very smart. He has a lot to offer. And I feel like we should give him the opportunity to do those things.
You're right. One drop does raise the sea. So, good point.
So you guys pack up your camp. It is late into the middle of the night, but the prospect of sitting on the edge of this pit is unnerving. And so you guys begin to travel down the road, slowly, tired. Some of you taking the time to don your armor or not. Everyone a little on edge, eyes red and bloodshot. As you are traveling, do you have what would you like to discuss with Dr. T. Burns? Yes, Sirach.
Before discussing, could I please? Oh, that's a button. Could I cast my primeval awareness? It lets me know if there's anything aberrations, celestial, dragons, elemental, fae, fiends, or undead within 1 mile. But it doesn't tell me directionality, just that they're there.
Okay. No aberrations.
That's good.
You do detect some celestial and fiend presences. And no undead. What was the other thing?
Fae, elementals, and dragon.
Most of these enemies don't seem to be any of those things. there is a presence of sort of each of it, and part of that is, and you get the feeling that it is the essence or the building materials that are being used to design and create these constructs, these monstrosities, because that is technically what they are. What you've mostly fought here are monstrosities or constructs, like golems, right? Actual robot style.
Yeah. And then last but not least, I would do detect portal.
Okay.
Distance, direction, closest planar portal within 1 mile.
Roll me a percentile.
$31.
Okay. Yeah, you detect. I'm gonna call it like a micro portal. Into it just tells you direction, right? Doesn't really tell you. Does it tell you where it goes? I'll go ahead and
Yeah,
give it
no,
to you.
it's once per short rest. As an action, you detect the distance and direction to the closest planar portal within 1 mile.
So beneath ground, right on the edge of about 3/4 of a mile away, sort of past the pit, but kind of the direction to the south that your friends probably traveled in. There is a very small portal to, you believe, one of the elemental planes, or perhaps pandemonium. You're detecting a high level of elemental energy that is coming through it, but nothing that is living, right? So, yeah.
And that seems like it was coming from where they came back up from there.
No, not where they came up from, but where they had ended up, right?
Yeah,
So,
like way
yeah.
down in there.
Yeah, way down in there. Yep, exactly.
Okay. Damn, elemental planes. Oh, okay. Okay.
Or pandemonium.
Yeah, but that's like a what? 1 in 6 shot?
I mean, 5, but sure.
Yeah.
How many elements are there?
Or
Plus what?
Air, water, fire, and what else?
Earth.
Only the
Oh, okay.
Avatar can master all 4 of them. You know that.
yeah,
Jeez.
Well, and there's because there's also the Feywild too.
Feywild's not an elemental plane.
Oh well, duh. You're right. I'm dumb.
No, you're fine. So you guys are moving your camp, and Burns is walking along with you. Screebers is preparing his PR pitch. Is there anything you guys would like to discuss, or ask him, or talk about?
How'd you get down there in the first place?
Oh, after I had left the third point, I was traveling. The ground began to bubble, rumble. I had suspected perhaps more bullets or some other subterranean monstrosity, but the bronze scouts that they utilized proved, well, persistent. Broke the wheels of my cart till it toppled over. In the crash, I was knocked unconscious. I awoke part of the way into the laboratory below, and did my best to mark a path out, but before I was able to make any escape, the biomancers had locked me into cuffs, the headpiece. The needles had already punctured my skin. It was... That's how I was captured.
Did you look like this before you were captured, or is this new?
No.
Shrock, you can't just ask people why they look the way they do.
Well, no, to be fair, because from the way all of you talk about you found him in some big old glass tube, I was about to ask the same thing. It's just Rock beat me to the point.
I don't know if I feel better that I'm on the same wokeness level as Talroth, but I'm okay with it for right now.
This is my natural skin color. So...
Okay, you said needles and everything. I was like, maybe there was a tube and something happened. My bad.
Unfortunately, the needles were more of a removal process than one that is then infusing.
So
What
they
did
were
they take?
Ah.
to make those?
Not specifically those, although my life, my race, my blood do have some regenerative and healing properties. Processed correctly, we endure for very long. For generations. We have the memory of 1,000 lifetimes. But
And he,
I suspect that
sorry,
was...
and
Go ahead.
sorry, I look around and I'm looking at everyone and I'm just like, I am going to attempt to handle this as sensitively as I can. But I don't think any of us have seen people who look like you before.
No, I imagine
Would you
wouldn't.
care to? Yes. Would you care to elaborate just a bit?
In ancient days, my people were made stewards to great deities. For what they left behind. Eventually, they fell from favor with us, found us too distant from our charges, too separate from our wards. Not celestial enough, not human enough. Just something. Unfortunately, they made us very well, and we do not die so easily. I am, or was, known as one of the Devon Keepers. We reincarnate as we die. It is only through great acts that we are able to ascend. Most of my brethren, or through heinous atrocities, do we fall from grace. Most fell. I haven't tried to leave this world a very long time. But maintaining a laboratory for a master that will never return is maddening. And so I came to the surface to see the humanoids my gods thought more impressive. And you are all very interesting.
Interesting in a good way or interesting in a Meh. Way.
You're not all perfect, but I've enjoyed most of my interaction.
I put my hand on my face and I'm like, that's for damn sure.
He sort of smiles and laughs. He doesn't seem malicious, but there is an alien quality to him. His eyes don't quite have pupils, and his skin, the gold pinnacles on the chakran points are. It's all just a little offsetting.
I get you, buddy. She's just still like combing crap out of her hair.
Yeah.
But she knows what it's like to be pupilless and gold.
Yeah, he gets it. He sort of nods and me. Focus on me. There you go. Sort of nods and smiles. And sometimes I have to talk to the camera. It doesn't. What are you doing? Stop it. Me. There you go. Okay. A few months back, I had received a warning, sort of, and you'll notice he touches the gem on his forehead, and sort of fingers it in like a thoughtful way. I had received some sort of warning that my laboratory had gone awry. It seems the maintenance that they were supposed to maintain was misinterpreted or reinterpreted. They had begun to expand. Can't tell if it was the helmed constructs or whether it was the Kruthix that broke through first, but that has set this laboratory on a dangerous path. It seems as though to defend themselves, the constructs began awakening experiments, different life forms, amalgamations of natural beings. What had been my master's playthings for a time.
I'm sorry, you've said that like 3 times now. Who was this master?
I don't suspect it's a name that you've heard before. It's very old, mostly forgotten. But they had their own obsessions and interests. There were 2. One I served, whose domicile, or at least experimentation this was for a time, but each of their facilities served a variety of purposes. I know very little about the others, although I had sought them about 4 generations back. Each lifetime we seem to find a different interest. But my particular master was the 6-fingered Lord of Life. He brought order to what the idiot gods had warped under. He was the mouth, the spear. He was Krill.
Sorry, you said the mouth, the spear, krill?
Mm-hmm. Quill.
Quill, thank you.
Any way to try a history check to see if any of that makes sense to me?
Yeah, go for it. Make a history check.
Same with myself.
Sure.
Eric knows, Sirach does not.
That is a 16 on history.
Never heard of it. 16. There are some old elven legends about 6-fingered deities. specifically, but they're erratic stories. None of them have like a unifying theme, and in a lot of instances, the Six Finger Gods are either abandon the elven deities in their moment of need, or just sort of were supposed to be taking care of something and then eventually didn't. That tends to be what you get.
Can I make a religion check on any of this?
Yeah, go for it. Treasure, what'd you roll?
Okay.
Professor Treasure is back with her
Yeah.
net for a total of 23.
A natural 20 for 23. Okay. I will say you remember more of the recent history of them. There were two brother gods that are said to predate the wild gods of the Albrechtian Empire. And about a generation ago, so about 70 years ago, there was a site uncovered beneath. Oh Lord, where was that city? The city of temples. Um,
God, I have a notebook here somewhere.
Yep, I have maps. I actually have notes that I made for all of these things, but I cannot remember them at the moment. Jalen Ursai? Nope.
No, Jalen Ursai was a different.
That's where she's from. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they are often associated with ancient civilizations that predate most of the modern civilizations. Even ancient elven lore only sort of barely butts up against what they do. A lot of times, like some of the delve beneath Jalen is thought to be part of an ancient society of theirs, and occasionally what would pass through your artificer family's hands were what they would call eldritch anomalies or eldritch machines. These were ancient, powerful, magical devices that that now that you think about it, actually sort of fits the description of those bullet brain things. That they're powerful artificer pieces that were made long before modern civilization, and the magic of which is a bit beyond what most people can do these days. So yeah, they're you may not know a lot about them specifically because there's just not a lot you're able to know, but you do remember you're sort of putting together pieces where you've run into or like rubbed against bits of their lore in the past. So you also know that Sanctuary had something to do with them, as did Lord have mercy. The fact that I can't remember that, I'm gonna look it up. It's gonna drive me nuts. I have to look it up. What did you roll, Olarun?
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Soft 20.
Soft 20. Okay.
Yeah.
Olarun, where are you from? Were you in the Empire?
I was, so my parents are from the Empire. I was born in Lickdracht.
You were born in Lickdracht. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't have it in my notes. I don't have those notes immediately with me. Huh. Sorry. So they don't exist in the Republic of the Black Gems pantheon. You might have heard stories about weird ancient temples on the Isle of Temples before the coming of Albrecht. Six Fingers is a pretty distinct feature of of these deities, and no other deities are depicted as such. You would know that they there are said to be secrets beyond even the gods, ancient horrors that melt the minds of men, and these there are often described as two elder things that would stand as bulwarks against them, not for our protection, but for their amusement. And that is about the description you get of Quill.
And I will tell Burns, I was like, the little I've heard of these elder gods has never been very flattering.
Well, I perhaps have a more personal connection. They are
It's very true.
absentee at best. There's not much flattering about them, but in any occasion, I am here. Not.
Well, do you happen to know the reason why the biomancers captured you, or why they targeted you specifically, outside of possibly to extract your life essence, if you will?
I have a good idea. Yes. I suspect it was. How shall I say this? Revenge? Justice? Life does not flourish when it is bottled up. One would say it needs freedom to explore, to grow. I kept the laboratory shuttered, secret. I have no interest, at least not in this life, of biomancing new life forms. Nor do I think your world, after having walked much of it, would do well with the ancient musing. Long absent gods. Lickdropt itself seems to do very well without them. But I had known the people of 4 Points. They were the first to greet me when I rose from the depths, some 6 or so generations back. It seems the byproduct of the laboratories beneath fertilized this soil in a miraculous way. So when I heard that they were in trouble, I returned to help them. And to put those monstrous genies perhaps back in their bottles. They took umbrage with this. They thought it would do me well to know what it was like to live in a glass tube.
I'm gonna guess it didn't agree with you.
Not my favorite life, to be sure. I've had had some very boring ones, but The lesson was well learned. The shameful thing is that there should be no life down there at all. Something got bored. And while I can't blame it, that entire place should be, well, you see him sort of thinking between options and ideas. He seems to... What are your passive insights?
15.
11.
12.
11.
15.
Um, 15, so you guys can definitely read the guilt on his face. 11, you guys get the idea, but it's a little more like maybe he is, maybe he's playing us. You're not sure. If you have a 15 or above, you can tell that the guilt on his face is quite genuine, and he has ideas of what to do. It's not like he's withholding them. He's just sort of not sure which direction to suggest. And I think we're going to dig into that after we take a break. So we are going to take a break. We are going to take a 15-minute break. And for our giveaway, why don't we go with hashtag Quill, which is KWLL. Hashtag Quill. KWLL. And again, that is for the giveaway of the Norse Foundry Dalmatian Jasper, speckled Dalmatian Jasper dice. You can check those out on the website. Go up there. Look. Now you want to focus on me. I don't want you to. I want you to focus. There it is. Look at that. Look at that.
That worked nice.
That we did. We got it up in there. There you go. Welcome back, camera. So we are going to take about a 10-15 minute break so that we can do that giveaway. Hashtag Quill, hashtag KWLL. So if you guys had a chance to check out Campaign 1, we're getting a little bit of throwback information and fun times for these players, but it's a part of this world that continues to be a part of the world, and I'm excited that we get to explore it. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching with us. We'll be back in about 15 minutes, and we will have hopefully a winner to announce for you guys before the end of the night. One last time, hashtag KWLL. So we are going to see you guys in just a few minutes, but until then, stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone. With me tonight, we have...
Playing Olaroon Dawnseeker, the ASMR Hexblade Warlock Paladin.
Eric playing Sirach, the Arakakra Horizon Walker Ranger.
Howdy, y'all. My name is Mars. I'll be playing Talroth Oakenblade, the Wood Elf Scout.
Hi, my name is Carlos. I am playing Frozen Fahrenheit, the half-orc tiefling forge cleric.
And I'm Kez, and I'm playing Treasure Glitterhoof, the Tiefling Fighter.
All right, guys, you have waited patiently to know who wins. They're less shiny. The plastic makes them look more shiny than they are. But the Dalmatian Jasper, Speckled Jasper piece from Norse Foundry. The winner is Ventsworth. So thank you, Ventsworth, for being in the chat, for using the hashtag. We appreciate it. Congratulations. We are going to find a way to get this to you. So thank you guys. Congratulations. So we do try to do like a giveaway a week. If you guys come back in, check out our show. If we don't do it on Monday nights, we'll usually let you know what night we're going to do something like this. So congratulations once again to Ventsworth for winning this Dalmatian Jasper dice set from Norse Foundry. So we have to reach out to Norse Foundry, see what other giveaways they're going to be able to get us. But we also do have company merch that we do giveaways for as well. We do dice and pins and some other fun things. So yeah, we love Norse Foundry. Norse Foundry is a good a friend of ours. So yeah, that's kind of everything we got going on there with that. So let's get back to the action, shall we? Our adventure takes place in the lands of Lickdracht. Our heroes, members of the Magnus Exploratorium, have just been attacked by an underground amalgamation, a Crassus monstrosity, a kaiju of sorts, of blended genes and shifting skin, hastily made. And you guys were relocating your camp. You've done so. You're in the process of resetting up down the road, and in a place that you hope is going to be a little safer. You guys have been talking with Dr. T. Burns, or at least that's what he says his name is. He has admitted to being one of the Devon keepers, one of the Deva watchers as well. They're interchangeable for him. They are an ancient race that does not know death, that only reincarnates or descends. So they either make, they eventually achieve nirvana or they become devils. That's their path. Their maker, one of the two brother gods that stand against the unknowing madness of the outer realms, the Quill and Rin, the ancient shield and spear, the progenitors and testers of this land, had left Burns in charge of underground, basically a gene laboratory. And after a few thousand generations, he got bored. He left. Things happened. He doesn't exactly know what. And now it's kind of you guys' problem to help him deal with. As you guys are getting ready for your second attempt at a long rest, why don't we go through the cast and you guys describe your characters to everybody? Because I forget, sometimes we have new viewers and we don't always do that. Cole, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, sure. So Olaroon is in ASMR, but with dark brown skin. Let's see, who's a good? I can't even really think about a good comparison. But he has silver hair, braided into cornrows, with single braids kind of going down his back and resting on his shoulders. Occasionally he has it tied into like a small ponytail. He's pretty slight, about 6'1". He's got muscles, but they're pretty thin and ropey. They're not like bodybuilder. They're like strictly because of use, large amounts of use. He also has his eyes are gold. And he is currently not wearing armor, but normally he's wearing a pretty a well-kept but slightly battered suit of chainmail that he pretty much wears on the regular.
Okay. Up next.
Hello. Sirach is a Arakakra. He's on the shorter side for Arakakra. Fairly short. Five. What did we decide? 5'6" was it? Yeah, 5'6".
That's pretty tall for an Arakocra.
No, that was 4. That was 4'6" because it was short for an Arakakra.
Mm-hmm.
He is short boy. He's also a little bit in the clothes he wears. He seems a little bit almost pudgy. He has very cockatiel features. He has the feathers that come up when excited or scared or most emotions. And he has a yellow head of fairly rosy orangish cheeks. But then a lot of the other feathers that are from the nape down are kind of a little bit of a muted gray. You see him with his bow and arrow slung across his back, and sheathed at his sides are the short sword and the curved sword of the House of Rain. And he's usually in some adventures, ranger clothing, a cloak, sturdy shirt, sturdy pants. He doesn't wear shoes. He's just got his little talons that he walks around with, and he hides his wings for the most part under his cloak.
Okay. Talroth.
Well, Talroth, now take a wood elf, mix in a little bit of Indiana Jones, but drop in a few drops of Florida Man. Let's start there with that description. Yeah, about average height for wood elf, but long, kind of auburn brown hair, always kept up in a braid or multiple braids, just kind of hanging down his back or wrapped around his neck to keep it out of the way. Walking around with a nice double-bladed scimitar that Thozen made a while back. Definitely a Talroth's preferred weapon, but even when it comes to sneaking around and running around, yeah, at that point, Talroth becomes a rumor, because where the hell did he go? Then again, Cloaks of Elvenkind kind of do that.
So true. All right, Thozen.
All right, Thozen he's a mixed breed. He is half orc and half tiefling. So he takes a lot of his tiefling heritage with him. He's a Zerial tiefling. So he's about 6'3". Unlike Olorin's like lanky form, I am a very beefy beefling. Pretty bodybuilder type, broad shoulders, all that jazz. Green skin. Yellow eyes. One of them is kind of milky yellow, like it's been damaged before. He has 2 huge horns that go from his brow and comes straight back. He has long hair that's down to the middle of his back that he usually pulls back in a ponytail. It's black with white streaks in it. He's in his mid-40s. So for an orc, it's like middle to older. He is a blacksmith, so he's used to being around fire. Half of his entire, I think it's the right half of his entire body is scarred from a burn accident he's had many years ago. Usually he wears full plate armor, except whenever he's forging. He is a forge cleric of Branos, the god of forgery. And so whenever he's not, right? God of forgery? Sure.
Yeah, I mean, forgery's a different
wrong
thing.
forgery.
Yeah.
Forging.
Yeah, forging. There you go. Yeah. But I was like, I don't know if forgery is
Phrasing.
exactly in his domains, but yeah, no, something like that.
English, not my first language. Not mine. Anyways, he usually will only wear his armor whenever he's traveling. However, whenever he's back home and he's forging,
Mm-hmm.
he will just be wearing. He doesn't wear a shirt, but he'll wear his leather apron that is all stained with like oils and soot and all that shit. And then he has a giant shield that he usually has strapped to his back with the symbol of Branos on it. And then he always has his mace, which is a black, like obsidian colored mace that resembles the one that his mother used to have.
Mm.
That's and then he has the two tusks for his half orc side. I think that's it. I'm looking at a picture. Oh, and he has tattoos down his left side.
There you go. All right,
Big
Treasure.
beefy boy never wears a shirt.
The opposite of what I am in real life.
So, part 2 of the Beefling squad is Treasure. She is also quite large, a nice mixture of muscle, curve, and chub. She's about 6 feet tall. Instead of feet, she does have hooves, which do glitter, hence the glitter hoof name. She's got these big old ram horns that kind of curl in, usually decorated with all manner of baubles and jewelry. She's a very glitzy girl, and she loves her jewelry. She's got long golden hair that kind of matches her skin down to her butt. Doesn't normally tie it back, but that's okay. She probably should start doing so. There's been so much crap in it lately. She does have pupilless teal green eyes. She's usually very smiling, very happy with like little slight fangs, and usually running around in a nice, actually quite intricately decorated plate mail armor that Thozen made for her, where he added like some little gold coin accents to it. Whenever she's not necessarily running around in that, she's usually got like a pink shirt, corset. She, despite her massive size and readiness to throw down, is pretty feminine.
Nice.
And she's got her little heart-shaped tail. Her tail at the end is actually perfectly heart-shaped and pierced.
There you go. NPC-wise, you guys are traveling with Raven, who is a halfling artificer, also a little Wednesday Addams, Morticia Addams, sort of just very over life. Carlos will come back. That's hopefully what happens. Also traveling with you guys is Screebers. Screebers is your sometimes leader, sometimes identifying kobold. He is old. He's very old for a kobold. He's like 80 plus, 90, something like that. Kobolds apparently can live very old, but they don't usually do so. He is an undeclared student at the Magnus Exploratorium because he is too young to tie himself down. He has an old white Fu Manchu that hangs low and does a little bit of everything. And your most recent acquisition, NPC-wise, is the Dr. T. Burns, who is bluish purple in skin, white hair, youthful for somebody in appearance, but ancient in sort of his the way he carries himself. And at his third eye, chakran point, there is a golden sort of gem or growth or bump that is there that he sometimes sort of plays with as he is thinking about things. So you guys have moved your camp. You are hopefully safe. You set up your watches throughout the night. Is there anything else you guys would like to do before getting back to resting?
I would probably sit down next to Talroth. I'll be like, hey, so can I talk to you about something?
Yeah, sure. What's going on?
So like I think there's like a I don't necessarily know how to handle this kind of a thing, but there's a girl that I think is pretty cool, I guess. And I'm just trying to like figure out how to go about it.
Huh. Well, I mean, I'd say probably one of the first things is what y'all got in common.
And he just kind of like sits there like, as of right now, not a lot.
Well, I mean, ooh. I mean, that's already kind of a steep starting point right there. I mean, I'm sure there's different hobbies that might work out, but I mean, do you know if she's got the eyes on you too, or is this just kind of a one-way street? Sorry, I just need a little more information to kind of understand the situation.
So you say that like I've already talked to her about this, and if that's the case, you must not know me very well at all.
To be fair, some of the last times we talked, it's been more about fighting and training, and who the hell tried to burn down the school. So, yeah,
Good point.
we've been busy.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just like I don't even know how to like really tell her or what, or if I should tell her, or if I should just kind of like, be cool. And then he tries to do like this really like this really bad cool guy pose that he just kind of like, yeah, it's essentially like the Fonzie finger guns, but like with like a weird hey, like mix Fonzie's finger guns with Chandler trying to smile on command. And that's pretty much what it looks like.
Oh wow.
All right, coming from experience on this one, going to plenty of bars. If you try that on 6, you're gonna get slapped by 5, maybe 7. Hard to tell. I mean, numbers get kind of weird when you have a few drinks in you. But, ooh. Talroth is gonna kind of mentally try to figure out something. So give me a second.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm guessing. I mean, since this is all kind of new and all coming up, this girl must be kind of new to all of us, or maybe we just kind of met her. I mean, if it's some little girl in the town, or it's that new little girl. It's a creepy little one, ain't it?
Oh no. Did you see her mom? She makes zombies. Look at me. Do I look like I mess with anyone who makes zombies?
Well, I mean, everybody's got their kink, and I kind of never asked you what yours is.
Oh no. Let's just, you know what? Let's just move on. It's not her. Definitely not in a million years.
Well, I mean, one thing that I learned over the years, and I can actually thank Treasure for this one, is just be yourself. Just, I mean, speak plain, speak honest. Maybe see if she wants to get a bite to eat, get a drink. I don't know. Just if you try to act cool, you ain't cool. If you try not to act cool, you're cool. Make sense?
No.
Yeah,
But
it doesn't make sense to me either.
I did read a book. Not too long ago that like the mating habits of like certain birds when they're trying to like attract
all right. Yo, hey,
a female.
okay.
They like show up. Maybe like I can get maybe like Sirach will like lend me like a feather. And I can like make like something out of it and like kind of like present it to her. So she'll be like, hey, like let's do an activity together.
Well, maybe if y'all were back in elementary school doing some arts and crafts with some glue and whatever little macaroni pasta stuff, sure, that could definitely work out. But, I mean, how old are you right now?
Okay, so yeah, okay, all right. So I'm first off, I'm a grown man. That's all you need to know. Secondly,
Yeah, now
I
going
didn't.
off of that, now, you being a grown man, books can help. I've read a few books. I know there's a lot of good stuff in books, but there's a lot of shit that you just learn on the street that books ain't gonna cover for you.
Yeah, about. I didn't get out of the house much until I, you know, went to the Magnus Exploratorium. Until I met you guys, I didn't really have a lot of friends. So I don't necessarily like not good with the social stuff, all right?
Well, if you want somebody to be, if you're looking for somebody to talk good about social stuff with, Treasure's going to be a best bet on that one, or maybe even Saride. Because me, when it comes to social stuff, you've known me well enough. It's usually hit or miss. More often than not, it's
Um
miss.
GM, can I request that he makes an insight check?
Yeah, I mean, what sort of insight is. Yeah, I guess if there's something you're trying to convey without saying, why don't we do this? Why don't you make a persuasion check as you attempt to convey some information without outright saying it, and Tauroth, you make an
Well,
insight check.
it's more like I'm attempting to hide a facial tick when he says Treasure's name. I'm trying to like
Okay.
hide it from him. Like,
Make a deception check then. Sure.
okay,
And I make insight, or
Yes, insight. Well, so technically, it is his deception versus your passive insight is what it would be. Now, if you think Tauroth is actively attempting to read him, is in like an interrogation sort of way, like really paying attention, then you would roll. But if he's just treating it like a normal casual conversation, we would use the passive. So how active is Tauroth being in his attempt to figure out what girl it is?
well, at the start of the conversation, it was more of a okay, we're just chatting. And then when he realized, oh, Olarune's kind of serious. Okay, let me start actually paying attention. Let me start trying.
Okay.
Let me just help him.
Yeah,
Because he's a good guy. He's a really good guy. I want to help my friend.
I could see an argument for an active roll. So go ahead and make an active roll.
Yeah, that's a 23.
Okay.
yeah, I rolled a 14 on deception.
Oof. I
So,
know,
like-
I
so,
know
like-
you have
so,
a
like, when
good charisma, but
Yeah, I don't have
my
proficiency in
passive-
deception.
Yeah, my passive insight is still 15.
Yeah. So he's just like kind of like, it's like you say it, and his face is just kind of like he kind of like stops breathing for like a half a second. Like the concept of him talking to her is a lot, and he's like, yeah. He goes, I mean, I could talk to her, but Mr. Ride's really good at the talking thing too. Why are you looking at me like that? I don't know why your face is making those faces.
Well, I don't have a mirror, so I can't really see what face I'm making, but
You look constipated.
I was thinking, excuse you.
I can almost smell your brain burning from here.
Oh no, that Scriba's making some dinner back there. Might be a little too well done at this point.
no such thing.
Scribas, I done told you medium rare is delicious. But in any case,
Please take it. Please take it. Please take it. Please. And he just goes off. Sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
So, Olaroon, going back to Treasure for a second.
What? Huh? What? Why? What about her? Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. She's cool. She's pretty cool.
Yeah, and yeah, your poker face is about as good as Sirach's.
What? Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. I didn't say anything. I'm just, out here trying to have a conversation with my friend, That's it. Now you coming out here with all these wild accusations.
Oh, hey, look, Treasure's cleaning her armor.
He just kind of turns and wheels and freezes. Is she even there?
No, she ain't, but you just got caught, boy.
I know.
Oh God.
Now look, we've been traveling with her for a while now. We know that is a whole hell of a lot of woman, in more ways than one. She still owes me a couple $100 gold for beer tabs. Anyways,
You keep saying that.
well, yeah. I mean, you've seen her drink,
Yeah.
which is why I'm not going to suggest you takes her out to a bar because that's going to run you bankrupt in about a week.
I don't have that kind of money. Her drinking tab alone has got to be at least $1,000 gold a week, easy.
I'll bring you the numbers later. I just got to dig up the book. But yeah, I mean, whew. Look, if you definitely got your eye on Treasure there, I mean, we know she's been running from something in the past. We know she only just recently kind of confided it in us that there's a bit of history there. But near as I can tell, as long as you just play it straight with her, I don't know, maybe you just kind of get to know her a little better, talk to her. Don't offer to buy her a drink. You don't want to fall down that rabbit hole. But maybe, I don't know, if we go pick up some supplies, just pick up something nice. I mean, she still likes all that girly stuff.
I mean, I'm also not totally opposed to the Sirach plan. I really think that could actually work. I've heard of similar incidences happening in different cultures and stuff that maybe it might be. I don't know. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those cases where you ain't going to want to look at a book for figuring this shit out.
That goes against almost everything that I know.
Technically, I go against almost everything you know.
Nah, you're not wrong. But
Because
yeah,
the fact that you're coming to me for advice about this shows that either you are well out of your depths or you are desperate.
a little of both. A little of both. But
I'm gonna pull out my flask and hand it to Olaroon.
and he just takes it and just starts drinking, and I think we can end it there.
Sounds good. So the rest of the night passes seemingly without incident. You guys take your shifts and your watches. Burns seems to sleep, but in an upright, almost elf-like trance position. The morning comes. You guys get a late start after having to move camp in the middle of the night, getting attacked probably after midnight. So you guys are tired. You're slow to get started. So you're probably not up and going until 10 or 11 in the morning. What would you guys like to do?
I actually wanted to ask Burns something.
Yeah. You want to do it in the morning, or did you want to catch him at night?
I probably would have liked to have caught him last night as we were all going
That's fine.
separate ways.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, you can catch him. What would you like to go for it?
Yeah. Excuse me. Mr. Dr. Burns. There was something I wanted to ask you about.
Of course. What can I do for you?
So that lab was Quill's lab, and you were kind of taking care of it, right?
More or less, yes. I was left in charge of it. He had used it for a time, a very long time ago, and he had left some projects to gestate in his absence.
Cool. So I happened to get a feeling from the lab that there was a portal, kind of deep down in there.
Yes,
Would you
yeah.
happen to know about that?
I actually do, yeah. The central portion of the laboratory runs on a portal that siphons energy from pandemonium, from the elemental plane of chaos, and drawing out of it the heat, the electricity, the rapid freezing bolts, the unpredictable nature allowed for not only the ordered machines of Mechanus to operate, but also he would use that. He would use chaos as though it were a stick of butter in a cake or a pie or a crust. It bound things, but it also empowered them, flavored them. It gave them, allowed those mutations to rapidly take hold. It is chilling, the ease with which he would bend the cosmos.
You see, as everything about that metaphor went on, Sirach's eyes just kind of slightly glazed over as he was trying to take all of it in. And then it's like, yeah, great, definitely. Do you know much about portals?
I know a fair bit. I did a little portal hopping in some previous lives. Some of my prior selves were more, how should I say, less satisfied with terrestrial existence than I am.
And suffice it to say, Sirach spends the next amount of time picking his brain about portals and planar existence
Sure.
and gaining knowledge on that front.
Yeah, absolutely. Burns has. You notice that he has to recall that information, information that is not experienced by this lifetime or something that is, you get like hardwired into it. So stuff about the laboratory is like hardwired. That he was made to do that, right? So the stuff about the portals, you watch his eyes, and they are the gold pupilless nonsense, or they're milky white, I think. But you watch them sort of shift and swirl, almost opal-like. And when he has to start talking about different planes or things that he experienced as he was traveling, they coalesce into what are far more traditional eyes, and his voice sort of changes. It's almost as though he is channeling the personality and the essence of a prior self in order to answer those questions for you. So it's not like he remembers everything perfectly himself, but he can sort of sift through and Rolodex like call that that personality forward.
Cool. Thank you.
You got it. Anything else at night? Looks like a no. Okay, so the morning does come. Is there something you guys would like to do in the morning?
Because we've been interrupted in the middle of our sleep, would this be considered a long rest?
This is now a long rest. You guys are able to restart and perform the entirety of the long rest. You do get a full long rest. So go ahead and check that. on the D&D Beyond, gain all the benefits of such. That is right there for you guys.
I'm gonna leave my Blessing of the Forge on Talroth's armor.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yes, the birth of the rogue tank.
As you all are eating breakfast, Burns will come and sit with you all. I'm not sure exactly what your plans were or are for the day or days to come. As long as I remain up here, those monstrosities are going to continue to breach the surface in search of me, I fear. I would like to shut the lab down, to put it back in its inert state. But I don't think I can do that alone. I would have to end the Kruthix incursion, find their nest, root out whatever brood mother they have. And secondly, either defeat or negotiate some form of peace with the biomancers below. They won't make the same mistake of sending a half-formed Crassus after us again. It was their haste that led to their defeat. And besides, and he'll sort of look over at Clever Stitch off on the side. As far as I understand, one of your number has already, well, brought their ire upon them. These are...
Yeah, I've been meaning to ask about that because given everything that happened with people just passing out as soon as they got back up, and what happened down there?
So, question:
Mm-hmm.
would Olaroon recognize the spell that was cast on Stitch, or would anyone have recognized it?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay, this probably isn't gonna go well, but well, that's a 19.
You do recognize it. It is prismatic spray.
Okay, yeah. So I am going to be like, I'm gonna say, Talith, what do you know of high-level magic?
I know that I can't do it worth a damn.
Okay. Do you know what those kinds of spells are capable of?
I've heard stories.
Yeah. One of them, known as prismatic spray, was cast at Stitch, and it's bad. The fact that he's still alive is a miracle in and of itself.
Okay, I have heard of that one. That was one that my brother was trying to figure out, and that didn't go so well. So, okay, so there's some pretty high-end mages and stuff down there, from what I'm gathering now.
They are quite capable. Intelligence was highly valued and bred into these entities. You have to understand, their pod life has been generations long of slowly introducing different elements. They were released fully formed adults, made so, but while they are brilliant, they are also childlike, immature, emotionally stunted. Quill never understood the importance of interpersonal skills, I suppose. He and his brother got along because they had the same goal until they didn't. Until they fought. But he never made much effort to learn to interact with people. He never needed to. So they are very powerful. They are capable of making monsters the size of giants. And they are impetuous enough to chase after you for killing one of their own.
So it sounds to me like we made some friends down there, and they're going to want to come over for dinner at some point.
Your metaphor, sure, that holds, yeah. I mean, you realize you're the dinner, right, in that scenario.
Well, yeah, but
Oh, okay,
I mean, if we're kind of going off that that metaphor, whatever the hell you call me, how about we give them some food poisoning?
Sure. I mean, that is one thing to do, but you put at danger all of these fields and these people up here. I'm afraid we must travel into the belly of the beast, as it were.
Are these things somehow tracking you? Just out of curiosity? Like, you said that they are seeking you and...
Magic? Scent of smell? I'm not sure.
I wonder if a sense of smell, if we can just, like, douse him in, like, ale or something and mask it that way? Or... No, that'd be wasting ale. But, something along the lines of that.
Can I awkwardly sniff and see if he has a distinct smell?
Yeah, go ahead. Make a perception check based on smell.
Good old pit sniff.
That'll be a 9 for me, please.
Birds aren't really known for their sense of smell, as far as I'm aware.
Not really.
Yeah, it's just not really their thing. Not that you can tell. It smells like a person, I guess.
Treasure's going to lean over to Talroth and Olaroon and kind of whisper, "We did bring his stuff. Do you think giving him some of his stuff back, we might be able to get an edge on this thing? Because, I mean, as it looks right now, if we keep running, it's just going to keep chasing us. And if we go back to a town, it's going to chase us into a town, which is exactly the opposite of what we want to do."
Correct.
Wait, you brought some of his stuff back? You didn't tell me? Damn.
Well, the itty-bitty spooky one had, like, most of it.
I'm really not that spooky. I'm just a bird.
He's talking about.
Oh God. She's
Upon
back.
you saying that, Sirach is gonna jump up 5 feet in the air. Whoa!
Where the hell did she
Sorry.
come from?
I've been here the whole time.
Yeah, honestly,
Ah,
you guys gotta
Drex.
start paying more attention.
I mean,
What
seriously,
is it
you guys
like-
didn't notice when we made room for her to sit down? I mean, that was kind of rude, y'all.
Remind me to craft
okay.
like a cat's bell or something to put around her neck.
I'll jingle. It's okay. I'll jingle. Sorry, it's
Raven.
tough to do the Daria voice, but at a volume that the mic will pick up and make like audible. So I apologize.
Raven,
Yes.
what is your feel on this situation? Because while we do want to kind of get things down to an acceptable level of violence and chaos.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't want to give somebody that's potentially dangerous their stuff back. Now, up to now, he's proven not dangerous. But do you understand my concerns?
Yeah. You're worried about giving him his stuff back?
About giving him his stuff back, about going to town, about heading back to rejoin the caravan, and then potentially leading that thing to either the caravan or town. There's a lot to worry about here.
Well,
Is it-
I was told I'd get to see a lab.
This is true. It's full of monstrosities right now. If you think that we should go back down there,
Well, if we don't, then the monsters are going to chase us, right?
that's a probably.
And if
That
we
seems to
don't,
be the gist.
if we don't, then the Kruthiks are going to keep eating people, right?
Probably.
And we don't want either of those things to happen, right?
Correct.
Then I guess we have to go back down.
Well, Olaroon, I guess we get to see what was in door number 2.
Maybe the good news is maybe we already killed it. But we'll have to see.
I say
We
give him.
should fill y'all in.
I say give him back his stuff. I mean, it's his stuff,
That's true.
and he helped the town, right? And he helped.
He did.
And he helped you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
So Treasure's gonna take out, like, I think we had an alchemical set that was his and some of the basic stuff that was his.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that basic stuff, not necessarily the potions that we've stashed to the side, but, like, his basic gear
Mm-hmm.
and his alchemical kit, she's going to kind of separate that from the stuff and hand it back to him. Because he's obviously going to be more useful to us geared.
Right. When you pull out his stuff, so all of his kits, all of his vials and beakers and stirring sticks, I guess. We never have to message Eduardo, see if he ever stirring wand, I guess. I don't know, baton, something like that. Pardon me. His eyes sort of light up, and his demeanor sort of shifts as he reaches out to take them. I think you guys probably had some of his clothes as well. Did you bring those with you, or is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Treasure would have definitely, because we don't know what kind of state he was in, so she would
Right.
have packed at least one change of clothes and his, like, basic gear.
Okay, so even his most basic clothes still have, they follow that sort of purple and gold motif, and are they're performers' clothes, right? If you were going to buy them, they're almost circus-like. They are very much like showman clothes, and as he is pulling them out and sort of holding them and looking over them, even just as they touch him, you guys watch as sort of his features shift and change from this very wizened, sort of stoic, like straightforward type person into a far looser, a little more jovial, and like he's got his large overcoat over robe, and he's like, oh. Well, this, darling, I haven't seen you. Oh, your eyes. You're a sight for sore eyes. And he sort of smells it and kisses it. And then with like a flail, he'll whip it overhead and around, and he'll pop the collar up over himself, and he sweeps it back with a flourish, and a little like force stool rises there for him to sit. And he's like, oh, now with these vials, oh, gather round, everyone. Allow Dr. Burns, to heal what ails you. Come, tell me what you need. Wait,
Well,
I'm so sorry. We were, yes, the Kruthix. We should begin with the Kruthix. If we can put to rest what awoken the laboratory, then the laboratory itself should have less defenses for us to contend with. I'm so sorry. That was very odd of me to say. Kruthix are never really a concern, not for one as magnificent as myself. Don't listen to that. That's neither here nor there.
can I roll an insight check on him real fast? Because something seemed a little odd just now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, please do.
Are there two voices talking? Is this just the same? Is this all coming out of Burns, or is this?
It's all coming out of Burns. Yeah.
Yeah, something's.
And that was a 24 on insight.
Okay. So, yeah, well, you guys know a little bit about him and his race, right? And there seems to be like an underlying personality, or what was perhaps what began, but with his stuff, he is very much the showman, the traveling salesman, right? Dr. T. Burns, and that is it's one part a character, but it's also his life, right? So it's like having a different instance of the Doctor, sort of arguing with a past self inside of him. So they are the same person. They have the same basis of knowledge. They just have different personalities, and there is something primal about being back at the lab that is trying to be helpful and trying to cut through the showman, right? But he also feels much more like this is the showman's life. This is Dr. T. Burns. Like that's who he is. But he has so many lifetimes and memories in him. You also get the feeling he probably wasn't designed to live quite this long. So it's starting to get a little jumbled on him.
Well, I was gonna ask you, Dr. Burns. If you needed a minute alone with that nice old cloak of yours first.
I appreciate it. It is always best not to take the stage before one is ready. However, time is of the essence, and I am a consummate professional. I would never delay the rising of a curtain to hear that wondrous thunder that washes over you as the applause of the crowd add the adulations of a life well led. Who could resist? Who could resist? No, I think I am well and ready. My apologies for any off-putting nature that was heretofore present, but these are the days of the Doctor, as it were. And I would never fail to give the fans what they want.
Olaroon's gonna be like in the corner, like taking notes, watching this just like magnificent transformation into this being of utmost confidence and surety, and he's just like,
And Taro's gonna turn to Olaroon and make a sign saying "Take notes," just like. Now, being the consummate professional that you are,
Of course.
and considering there is a laboratory full of quite a few uglies down there that want to at least turn us into dinner.
Dangerous, deadly, dastardly deeds to dine upon your flesh. Yes, I am aware.
Delightful. But I don't suppose there's no off button down there that we could just kind of hit once and then, hey, everything's good?
Well, not quite an off button, but there is a central command station, most likely guarded heavily by the biomancers themselves. My prime self wishes for you all to know that, again, dealing with the Kruthiks and their nest would be the most important first step. But once that was settled, once the primary defenses of the laboratory and its wandering screamers, hammers, the diggers, the excavators, the soldiers of this defense force were removed, traveling to the central command area would be much easier. And then it would primarily be the biomancers and their living losses of monstrosities that would most likely stand in our way.
So
Well-
I think my question here. I'm sorry, Ola, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go for it.
Well, I mean, the good news is we have someone who knows the laboratory and its defenses intimately. In the
Things may have changed.
indefatigable doctor over here.
Well, thank you. It's close, very much. I have a basis of knowledge. It seems that the laboratory has grown exponentially in my absence, and that is one of the things I do need to see set to a, proper state. But I could lead you to where the Kruthic hive had burst through. As well, I could lead you to the central chamber, most likely, although my memory is not perfect, and I do stress that. So much of the rest of me is, though, so it really balances out.
And Olrin just sits there like, okay, well, and he turns to the rest of the group and he goes, well, I think we don't have any choice but to go down there and head back down and try and take care of the problem. Otherwise, these people up here could get hurt, and I can't leave unless knowing that they're all going to be all right.
No. Then if it's the Kruthic hive we travel for, we need a few days south of here.
Nate turns to the party.
So if we have to go south for that thing you mentioned,
Yes,
what's
Kruthic.
back down that hole? Crucives.
Different hole. Kruthic. Like
Kruthic.
crew, a group, but thick, like wide. Crew thick. Kruthic.
Right, I'll just let you do the words.
That's fine.
But so back down this hole, we ain't got nothing else down there to check out?
I mean, there's an entire laboratory filled with magic and wonders this world has not seen in eons. So, I mean, really it just depends on what you want to do. But if you're wanting to care for these people up here, these wonderful, wonderful people, then the most expedient route to do so would be to root out the Kruthic hive mother. I will warn you, it was very dense, and I was unable to make it there myself. I had hoped to travel to the northern 4 Point Farms, gather some of the scarecrows that were left up there, but they seem to, be overrun with bronze scouts and iron vipers and many other things. You all are better. You're better than scarecrows. I say so. It really depends on what you want to do. If you want to wander around the laboratory, running into monstrosities and other Crassus and Crassi and crazed creatures, we could. I mean, I would let you because I'm not quite that foolish, but to each their own.
You're a showman, right?
I am.
I'd say we've had enough of the first and second acts, and it's time to get to the main attraction.
Well, let's do it then. Let's get to the Kruthic Hive Mother and then a Biomancer, and we shall have this done in a dog's age. Well, it didn't work, but I liked the alliteration, so we're going to go with it.
All right, so we're gonna go kill that that thick half mother.
Yeah.
Kruthic half mother.
Yes.
We're gonna go geek a mage, and
Yes.
everything's gonna be good, right?
I believe so, yes. Yeah, yep. That sounds good to me.
All right.
It's like
Now
that
that we
great
have-
saying. Oop. I was just gonna say, it's like that great saying. It's not about the journey; it's about the destination.
Sure, yeah. I've heard that.
Right, but at the same time, and Talron's going to kind of square up a little bit. So you see, we were already on a kind of a journey when we had to come across and pull you out of there. Now, I understand that we are going to be doing some good for the town and saving people, but is there any sort of compensation for us?
I'm sure we can find something, either in my cart in which you acquired all of my goods, or either down below.
What do you guys think?
I think that sounds pretty solid. I mean, I'm kind of with Olaroon on this one. I'm a little more honestly concerned about the people, but the offer of pay ain't bad. And I think that's enough for me.
Well, we'll see that you are well taken care of.
Well, what is the easiest way to get there, though?
Overland first, that's safest, and then I know the entrance that we need to take.
Okay. So, everybody want any ingredients? We cut off the head of the snake.
So, with that, we're gonna call it a night. We'll have two big adventures the next 2 weeks. So next week, we'll have a team that is going to go defeat the Kruthic Hive Mother, and then the following week we'll have a different team that is going to go fight go do the dealings with the Biomancers. I think maybe we'll make some NPCs. Maybe you guys can take Raven or Screebers with you or something, or we'll figure something out. If not, we can keep it, do one and then the other. They don't have to happen at the same time. But that is pretty much the course set for the next 2 weeks of our show, which is great. We've got two big adventure weeks to come. I hope you guys had a good time. I had a wonderful time.
Same.
Yeah, it was a great night, guys. Thank you guys for all the new viewers, all the old viewers, everybody that came to hang out with us. You guys are wonderful. We really appreciate you all. One more time, congratulations to our winner of that's right, Vensworth. Yes. For I have it right here. God, Cody, pick it up. Yeah, Norse Foundry Speckled Dice. Super excited for you for all of that. We'll get your information. We'll get that sent to you. Tomorrow night, guys, we are going to continue to play Storm King's Thunder. Cole GMs that. I get to play on that. Thursday night is definitely, if you're a patron, we're going to have more A to Z monstrosities. We're going to finish going over all of our angels. Michael is going to get updated from his current state, and I actually think I'm going to do like 3 phases of Michael. So it'll be like Michael of the Scarlet Wings, Michael of the Bloody Five, and then Michael of the Crimson Nine. So Deva, Planisar, Solar, and a really cool NPC, a character from a long-standing bit of this game that we love. And then we'll have all of those updated for you. Razorwing, Dawn of the Deep, and Michael. That gets us through Angels, and then I think we're on to animated objects. So we're going to make some epic encounters with animated armor and swords and tables and rugs. I can't wait to make a mythic rug encounter. It's got to be the rug from Aladdin. That's all that it has to be. So.
It's just straight carpet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Carpet, right? Carpet is the most capable member of that entire movie series, TV series.
By far and large.
Yeah.
And the most like emotional too. The fact that you can tell a carpet's emotion
Right?
is just amazing.
Yeah, an anthropomorphized carpet. It is absolutely brilliant. So that's it for us, guys. We're going to end a little early. Thank you for hanging out. We love you. We appreciate you. We are going to see you guys next time. But until then, be cool. Yes.